So I'm back on the E36 today, and I just I'm going to be spraying some primer on these exposed areas. I put a little bit of filler on these areas here where there was a little bit of, from the corrosion, there was some pitting. I put some rust treatment, and after that was dried, I apply this filler. This filler is like a fast drying filler, and now I have sanded it off. So these areas are okay, and maybe we can just about see here there is some gray primer and then there is some red primer on it. So I'm going to put some gray primer first, and then I'll put the red one. I have that bit there, the bumper here. On the bumper I'll just put the red one, and then I have this area here, which is quite large as well. So first gray and then red. At this moment in time, I'm not concerned if the tires get sprayed, because this tire's been here for a very long time, and they are cracking, so I should change them anyway if I plan to use the car. I have applied some of the red primer already on some other areas, even here, because all these got metal exposure, but there was no corrosion here, so at least that is okay. But these areas really need protection, especially all the mud gets collected behind here, and then it becomes just a corrosion area. So in the future, I'm going, when I finish this, I will put this on the ramp, take the wheels off, and just sand the back of the arch here, get rid of all the mud that's in there, sand the arch, and apply corrosion treatment, and apply that guard. It's like a thick black stuff that is, I think is called stone chip protection, or that kind of thing, that usually protects the seals. I did apply some of that a long time ago on these seals, which I may have to redo as well. It just seems that I have a lot of work going on here, but at least the car is usable once all this is finished. All of that can be done. It's not too tragic. That just needs redoing, basically, another coat of that stuff. But I do have a bad area corroded in the front, which might need welding. I'll have to get that done by somebody. So I'm just preparing some of the primer here. This is a great primer, and this is a very good one. It works really well, and the way it sprays is really in a line, like open like that. So it's quite good. The other one I've got there is, I don't like it too much, but I do have some of it, so I have to use what I will use. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I just need my two hands to get that done, and also I don't want my phone to get paint on, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I decided to put some of the grey here as well. Looks a little bit tragic, but just want it to be quite thick, and then I'm gonna just sand it off a little bit with the this is the P1200 to make it smooth. I've also decided to put some here because there was some exposure here, and well, that's that bit there, and I made it quite thick. I sprayed quite a bit on it. Obviously I have to rub this off a little bit with the 1200 anyway, and after that I'll be putting the red primer, which I think I have very little of, so I'm gonna need to buy some more. Since I sprayed quite a bit, what I really want is for it to dry properly before I carry on. So it's quite a long process in a way. If you had all the equipment, it would be a lot faster. You could use a heat gun, but then again, sometimes the heat gun melts the paint and it makes it bubble. You have to be quite careful with it, and then when it bubbles you have to sand it all off and start from zero, just from experience. But the more experience you have, also the better you get at using the different machines like the heat gun. You have to be really patient with it and keep it at a distance to dry. As I made a mistake somewhere, I think that's the reason I'm doing this part again, because this was already done together with the bumper here, and I applied some of the heat gun somewhere and it bubbled and then it messed everything up, so try to avoid doing that. Anyway, it's getting there. So this is just a little update. I had an issue with it actually. It wouldn't start. I've been dealing with that issue for a few months already, and it turned out to be the fuel pump. So the fuel pump gave up. Then I had a spare pump from an E39. I fitted that on and that was working. It was working fine. A week after, it stopped working. At which point I thought I may have a different issue, but it wasn't. It was the pump again. So I bought another pump, which then I fitted and the car started, and now that pump is on. It's working okay. It's actually almost 3 pumps I changed. The first pump I changed was quite a cheap pump. It was a new one, a new Chinese pump, and that lasted about a year, and then it stopped working. So the second pump I bought was a used second hand. The third pump, so it could be 4 pumps actually. The third pump came off of an E39 that was working perfectly fine, and as soon as I put it here, it worked, and after, like I said, a week or so it stopped working. Not sure if the currents are different and then that pump got damaged. I'm not entirely sure. So now I got a second hand high power I think it is, for an M series E36, which fits okay and is been working quite well for a few weeks. Well, for about a week. That's the other reason I couldn't do much work, because I couldn't get the car out of here, as it was not starting. But with that said, I should be back in the next few days, hopefully. I really want to finish this before winter. Don't know why it's taking me so long, but I get tired as well, so got so many other jobs. But anyway, we'll try to finish it before winter, and hopefully get it MOT'd and so on. Also I need to change the oil and the filter on it. We'll be making a separate video for that. Anyway, hope everybody's well, and thank you for watching the videos.